Today is Monday, Parashat Tzav, the second parasha in the book of Vayikra. The book of Vayikra began last week with the korbanot, the offerings that are brought into the Bet HaMikdash, and it gives us a list of the different korbanot, that beginning with the korban olah, then it goes to the offering of milchad, which is with fine flowers, and then the other types of korbanot. And this week also we continue the service in Bet HaMikdash and the Kohanim and the various laws that apply to korbanot. But there is an important principle that is brought in the Masechet Menachot, which is Echad HaMarbe ve'Echad HaMam'it u'bilvad shechaven libo l'shamayim. What is important is not how much or how big the korban that you bring the offering, whether it's a korban that costs a lot, or a mam'it, or something that costs very little, like an offering of fine flour, which is a minchat solid. The main thing is not the quantity or the value, but the main thing, bilvad shechaven libo l'shamayim. The main thing is the intention and the devotion that you have in bringing that korban. If you bring a big ox, let's say, as a korban, or something that is very valuable, but your heart is really not into it, that korban would not be worth, in terms of its value in the eyes of Hashem, as somebody who maybe could not afford such an expensive offering, and he brought just some fine flour, but he had it with full intention and love and ahava and simcha in doing that mitzvah. That would have more importance, because after all, in each one of these korbanot, whether it's korban olah or shlamim or the mincha that is made just of fine flour, the pasuk says isher reach nihuach ladonai, which means a fire offering as a pleasing fragrance to Hashem. The idea is these korbanot are pleasing to Hashem, but most important is the attitude and the kind of what's going on in your heart and in your mind when you brought this korbanot. There's an expression, Rahamana li baba'eh. Hashem sees into the heart of the person. With what intention is that korban being brought? Is that offering being brought? Well, that's the most important aspect of the offerings that we learn about in the book of Vayikra, beginning with the first parasha, Vayikra, and then Tzav, the second parasha that we'll read this Shabbat. But this does not apply just to korbanot, to offerings in Bet HaMikdash. This applies to prayer, applies to the mitzvot that we do. In general, our service of Hashem is most important how the kavanah, what is the intention, what is the idea that we have, what is the feeling that we put into that mitzvah, has a great importance to the value of that mitzvah. So here we speak about korbanot, but it's also about prayer. If you say a small prayer with a lot of kavanah, that would be a lot better than a long prayer with no kavanah. So we do need to go through the order of the prayers, but most importantly, the kavanah in the prayer and the kavanah in the approach, the devotion that we feel will bring the korban, is something that is very important. More important than how big and how valuable is the offering that you brought. And this is one of the lessons from the book of Vayikra. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen ve'amen.